So everybody wrote off San Francisco. It's too expensive, it's too dangerous, no one's coming back, it's a ghost town. And all of that may have been true at a certain point in time in the past, but now, today, as we are approaching the final stretch of 2025, it's dead wrong. What's actually happening in San Francisco here in 2025 will surprise you. Investors are piling in, people are moving back, companies are hiring, and the city is writing one of the greatest comeback stories nationally. Today, I'm gonna break down why the Bay Area, specifically San Francisco, is popping up on every investor's radar across the country. So first I want to talk about the narrative shift, but before I do that, let me reintroduce myself. My name is Arjun Dhingra. I am a two-time Taekwondo world champion, the former Team USA co-head coach, a resident of the Bay Area for the past 20 years on and off. I live in Marin with my family, but work right here in downtown San Francisco. For the last 24 years, I've been very committed to helping families and individuals make smarter decisions around taking out mortgage debt and investing in great markets like this one. So if me and my team can be of help to you in any way, if you're considering moving here or investing here, or you already live here and you're just curious about the market in general, please reach out to me at Arjun Mortgage directly on Instagram, and I will write you back personally myself and help you out in any way I can. Now let's get into today's topic. So first, let's start with the obvious. The headlines over the last 3 years have been brutal. San Francisco is a zombie apocalypse. People are leaving, there's a mass exodus. San Francisco is dead. It's one of the most unsafe cities. But here's the reality. Media narratives are like giant cruise ships. They turn very slowly. And most often, by the time the headline actually hits, everything was already in motion long before that. I've been in this market now for over 2 decades, and I can tell you, public perception lags behind actual economic conditions. That means if you are reacting for the first time to the SF is back news that you see across the media, you've already missed the first wave of improvement. Now, there is no question that AI has been the single biggest driver of this rebound. Since 2020, office space being leased by AI companies has tripled. And just in the first half of 2025, Bay Area AI startups have pulled in $75 billion in venture capital. Now that is not theoretical, that is real dollars converting into hiring, paying great wages, converting into San Francisco housing, people spending and investing money in this market, relocation packages, and these are also not $150,000 jobs, which is a great salary in and of itself. These are on average $200,000 to $300,000 high-paying positions. And a lot of these salaries are coming with some incredible stock options. There's an even bigger wealth explosion that's on the other side of this AI startup boom, where if companies continue to do well, the workers that are there that are earning great salaries are actually going to be a lot wealthier when these companies eventually go public. Now, where do people want to live? Because when we talk about the San Francisco market, we have to actually reflect on the Bay Area, because a lot of people work in San Francisco, but they live outside this market, like yours truly. But where do people actually want to live now as part of this big boom and resurgence that's coming to the city? Well, the answer is closer to work, near the action, in the neighborhoods where all the vibrant lifestyle and activity is actually happening. And that's pushing demand up huge all throughout San Francisco. Now let's talk about the office and the downtown comeback itself, because this is really noteworthy and also what was at probably the top of every headline when it came to discussing San Francisco's demise and a lot of the negative space that it was in. Now, downtown San Francisco office visits specifically, are up just under 22% year over year. And that is the fastest recovery on record for any US major city. So what does that mean, or why does that matter for housing? Well, when office corridors start to get busy, it has a ripple effect. The coffee shops get busier, more businesses start up, gyms and fitness studios and other amenities that are serving consumers directly, or residents directly, I should say, start popping up. And the overall energy that creates starts to draw people back in. And we're seeing it right now in downtown San Francisco post-COVID. Look, in 2020, you could walk through downtown San Francisco at 2 p.m. and hear your own footsteps. You might also hear some noises and sounds from homeless people or people on drugs. That was all quite normal. But in the back half here of 2025, you're seeing lines at Blue Bottle Coffee all over again. Now that is a massive shift in vibes, and vibes, as we all know it, move markets. Now let's talk about money. Multifamily property values dropped anywhere between 30 and 50% during the pandemic, which was huge. But Q1 of 2025 alone saw a tripling in the amount of transactions, which resulted in $360 million in transaction volume. Now that is not just local capital, that is institutional money at work. Hedge funds, REITs, and private equity groups, they don't play on emotion, they play on opportunity. When they start buying, it's an absolute leading indicator that you can't argue with or ignore. Now, if you guys follow San Francisco real estate or trends, it would mean a lot to me if you liked this video and subscribe to the channel so that we can reach more of you with content like this. But also drop us a comment on whether or not you agree with a lot of my takes here for what's happening in this market and how it's making its big comeback, or if you disagree and you see the market actually a very different way. I live and work right here in this part of the Bay Area, and I always provide an honest take of it. And if you've watched my content over the years, I've been brutally honest about some of the negative parts of what's been happening here culturally in the city. But this comeback is real, and that's why I felt it was important to talk about it on today's video. Now let's get into the neighborhoods and talk a little bit of rent and demand. A one-bedroom apartment now averages roughly $3,400 a month, which is up about 13% from last year. Now, rising rents, which San Francisco is definitely leading the country on, they do two things. One, they make owning more attractive for long-term residents. They also, more importantly, tell you that demand is outpacing supply. And with the housing shortage for San Francisco sitting at an imbalance of about 140,000 units. Yes, 140,000 for a city that's not actually quite that big. That tells you that the imbalance is not going away anytime soon. So here's my take, guys. The comeback isn't coming. It's already happening, and it's been taking place now for the better part of this year. Now, if you wait to take action in San Francisco until the headlines tell you that it's safe to come out, you're already going to be too late, and you'll pay a much higher premium for anything you choose to invest in. The smart play is to get in while the narrative is still catching up with reality, because the Bay Area doesn't bounce back at the end of the day, it booms. So again, if you are looking to take part in what's going on here in San Francisco and what is the greatest comeback story of any major US history post-COVID, or you want to put down roots or just invest your money in a pretty high returning market, please reach out to me at Arjun Mortgage on Instagram. Me and my team will be honored to help or assist you in any way that we can. I hope you guys found this video informative. I'll continue to bring you updates on what's happening here in San Francisco as we get into Q4, but we'll see you guys on the next video. Thanks for watching, guys.